I want to explain how more stimulus checks are being confirmed. We actually have news that more states, these are states that are going to be sending out additional checks in today's video. And third, I want to address how the government is actually running out of funds, and this is hurting them because the funds that they are running out is for pandemic relief. This is for COVID, so that can be an issue, and these funds could potentially run out by this summer. Once you address how we are having issues with unemployment, people are not getting the unemployment benefits that they need in this time, mainly because they have the run out, not because they are not getting them, but because they've exhausted all their benefits. This is from Oregon. Oregon State is under the anticipated kicker, and the median income taxpayer would receive the $420 credit on this year's state taxes, and the average taxpayer with the adjusted gross income, the roughly $67,500, will receive the $850. And since the kicker is awarded as percentage of income taxes paid, the top 20% of earners in the state of Oregon standards see for more $116,880 is have pretty much a stimulus checker rebate. It's incredible. Now that's it just in the state of Oregon. Here's something in Idaho. Look at this. In Idaho, the $350 million in rebates will be funded in the part by the state record $1.9 billion purchase surplus. It includes a 12% rebate for the 2020 figures on the taxpayer paid in the 2019, or $75 per taxpayer and dependent. So either it includes that 12% rebate or $75, you could at least get $75 or more. Now in the Georgia, so that this Georgia governor can propose tax refunds of the $250 for individuals or the $500 for the couple filling traveled in the Georgians out of their project surplus. So let's look at the Canadians, because Canada says their governors proposing the $250 tax rebates, but the GOP is skeptical. Here's why. These payments, and again, this is coming from about a month ago, but these payments, from the governor, the $250 rebates. But what we need to understand is that Republicans don't like this because it's coming too close to the election. Same thing goes down for Minnesota governor will, because they are now eligible recipient $350 direct payment was received $1,500. So $1,500 payment just to be a frontline worker. What Minnesota is thinking about is let's give every resident in the state $350. Alright, but let's go one step further. Let's provide the frontline workers with $1,500 payment. Now, we've seen this before, where some states will provide somewhat of the boost, maybe so-called stimulus check, but they will also provide the teachers with a teacher retention bonus, and they will provide the frontline workers with a hard pay bonus, right? And they come up with different ways, and it occurs back to the exact same things is they are just trying to give their resident some of money back. There is no law that says they have to give the money to every single resident. In many states, the law is they have to return that money. So we'll see what happens as we are getting there. Where more states are providing this funding, here's a couple others. Indiana residents should receive about $170. Back to Colorado, they'll get about $69 back. So this is not huge. It's something, and even Fox says California is grappling with a massive $31 billion estimated surplus for 2022, and the governor gave in new sum. He said it's possible some of the money could be given directly back to the taxpayers through the rebates. We've already seen this. We've already seen in California. You were given the Golden State stimulus and was actually 2 times right. So that's pretty impressive that they have given the money back. That's great because this is going to help out those that live in the state. We are seeing all the budget surplus increase. We've got a surplus, but it's actually increasing. That issue is, and this is what the Republicans said last year before the American Recruit Plan passed. But they said state don't need $350 billion and they are perfectly fine. But the Democrats passed the bill and they passed the $350 billion to the states. Now states have an effective surplus, so the money just goes back. But what we are hearing is that the Democrats in the House and the Senate are considering not passing the stimulus to American people, not passing additional benefits, like they were thinking about what to Build Back Better Act. But if they decide to move different direction and roundabout way, they could actually provide more benefit relief to the states, and the state can do with this money as they wish. Which, if they give it back to the residents, is the exact same thing as if the federal government and our senators and representatives in Washington decided to pass the relief to the American people as well. It's exactly the same thing, and this just going to a roundabout way to get the same result. So that was part of discussions. Alright, now federal watchdog that's overseeing billions of dollars in pandemic relief. They just told lawmakers on Thursday that their coffers are running out of money and they could be completely dry by this summer. Now they are arguing Congress to pass the additional aid in the upcoming government funding bill, not to Build Back Better Act. Because the question is, will the Build Back Better Act even pass? And it's not going to pass as of right now, but the government funding bill has to pass, and this has to pass before February 18th, or the stopgap bill, which runs till February 18th, means the government will be shut down starting February 19th. So it's interesting, but they are pushing to see Congress pass some additional relief. In this upcoming bill, we got about 20 days until this is going to happen. So they are coming down the wire, but we are seeing what happens. Now, back in November, the House of Representatives, let's go back a little bit further. That the Senate, they passed a bill that was bipartisan infrastructure bill. They called it bill, and they passed this bill for the $1.2 trillion. Then the House Representatives in the Senate, they went on the summer recess. They came back, then they negotiated, and the House Representatives, with the help of the Progressive, finally passed this bill on November 6th. Were somewhere right around the first week of November, they passed this bill. So this $1.2 trillion bill passed in November. On November 6th, first week, it's been almost 3 months and very little money has actually gone out. According to state officials, they are saying they do not want to spend any money until the government funding bill has passed. This might not happen until right before February 18th. Or just another scenario, if this doesn't get passed, completely passed, and they decided to do another stopgap bill and push it out for another few months. If this happens in this situation, according to state officials, this could be disastrous because they couldn't actually move forward with any of their projects. They could continue to hold off their project until they received more clarity. Here's the problem. Democrats promised that they are going to pass this bipartisan infrastructure bill. It's going to create well-paying jobs, and jobs are going to come floating back like they're promised. But they aren't coming back. And at a time when millions of unemployed workers are still waiting for work, they can't wait any longer. They aren't getting additional topless benefits because they have exhausted of all theirs. Right now, according to reports, about 3.8 million people can't collect any benefit. First, they have used the door. They reduced the door and they do not have anything left. So that's what we know at this time. It's good that states are sending out some stimulus, but at the same time, is the $250 stimulus check really going to tide you over if you don't have a job and you have no benefits?